The village of Ravenwood was nestled in a lush valley, where all 4 seasons brought life and vibrance. The villagers were known for their hard work, but few ever paid attention to 2 small boys who played by the stream every afternoon. Finn and Eli. Finn was 11 years old, small, quick, and full of curiosity, with bright, eager eyes. Eli, at 14, was taller, stronger, and always looked out for Finn in everything they did. Despite their differences in age and strength, they were inseparable. Finn often dreamed of becoming strong like Eli, of climbing the tallest trees and lifting heavy sacks of grain like the village men. But every time he tried, his small body seemed to betray him. One day, Finn asked Eli, "Do you think I'll ever be brave and strong like a warrior?" Eli laughed and ruffled Finn's hair. "Of course, Finn. You just have to never give up." Finn smiled, but deep inside he wondered, "Am I really strong enough?" Little did he know, fate was about to put him to the ultimate test. That afternoon, the 2 boys wandered farther from the village than usual, running through fields and forests. "Catch me if you can," Finn shouted, sprinting ahead like a little rabbit. Eli laughed and chased after him, his long legs easily closing the distance. But as Finn slipped through a bush, Eli didn't see what was ahead. Suddenly, he was gone. Thud! Finn turned around, heart pounding. "Eli!" Looking down, he realized Eli had fallen into an old abandoned well. From below, a panicked voice echoed, "Finn! Help me! I can't climb up!" Finn froze. The well was more than 3 meters deep. The walls were smooth and covered in moss, impossible to climb. He ran in circles, desperate for help. But the forest was silent. No one was there. There was no time to waste. Finn's eyes darted around, and then he saw it. An old rope and a large metal bucket. He took a deep breath and threw the bucket down. "Hold on tight, Eli." Eli hesitated. He was much heavier than Finn. How could an 11-year-old possibly pull him up? But he had no choice. He gripped the bucket tightly. Finn started pulling. Immediately, the rope burned into his hands like fire. Eli barely lifted off the ground. Finn gritted his teeth, planting his feet firmly in the dirt. The weight was too much. The rope slipped, and for a moment, Eli almost fell back. Finn screamed, "No! I won't let go!" He dug his heels into the ground, his arms shaking violently. Sweat dripped down his forehead. His muscles screamed in pain. But he didn't care. There was no time to wonder if he was strong enough. He only knew one thing. He had to pull. Finn pulled, inch by inch. The rope trembled under Eli's weight. "Hold on, Finn." Eli's voice was weak. Finn's heart pounded. He couldn't let go. Summoning every ounce of strength, he gave one final pull. And with a loud thud, Eli tumbled onto the ground beside him. Finn collapsed, his arms numb. They lay there, gasping for air. Then they burst into tears. Not out of fear, but because they couldn't believe what had just happened. They sprinted back to the village, shouting their story to everyone. But instead of amazement or pride, the villagers laughed. An 11-year-old pulling a 14-year-old out of a well? Impossible. He can't even lift a full bucket of water properly. Finn felt his heart sink. He had poured every bit of his strength into saving Eli. Yet no one believed him. Except for one person. Elder Harland, the village's wisest man, stepped forward and studied Finn with sharp eyes. "The question isn't how Finn did it," he said. "The real question is why he could do it." The crowd fell silent. "You see," Elder Harlan continued, "Finn didn't have anyone around to tell him he wasn't strong enough. No one was there to say, 'You're too small, you're too weak.' Not even himself. And at that moment, the villagers understood the truth. Because no one told Finn he couldn't be strong, he simply became strong." Finn's story spread throughout the village. Some still doubted, but those who understood saw the real lesson. We are only as weak as we believe ourselves to be. Our limits exist only in our minds. When no one tells you that you can't, you will discover that you can. Years later, Finn became the youngest warrior in Ravenwood's history. Not because he was the strongest, but because he never allowed himself to believe that he was weak. And his story would inspire thousands for generations to come. Message for you: you are stronger than you think. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't. Believe in yourself, because the only limits are the ones you create. Share this story if it inspired you.